Welcome back to another episode of your podcast, Red&Gold All Niners. Hoping you're having a fantastic day. And today in this episode, we are going to talk about the 49ers defense, the best defense in the NFL. I thought that it was funny that the best three players in the defense against the Seattle Seahawks, every single one of them, they have a 7 in their jersey. Charvarius Ward, Moody Ward, in the cornerback position, Drake Greenlaw, in the linebacker, and Nick Bosa as a defensive end. We know those three are incredible players. Nick Bosa now it is tied for first as the leader in sacks. Drake Greenlaw, he's a monster. He is, if not the best linebacker right now. Well, let's not forget about Fred Warner. Remember Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman. Certain point, a lot of people that were talking about Navarro Bowman being better than Patrick Willis. But then we saw what happened when Navarro Bowman didn't have Patrick Willis. It was not the same. Well, also because he got one of the worst injuries I ever seen in a field, but it was not the same. It is the synergy between these two players that creates this super tandem in the field. Fred Warner and Greenlaw, best linebacker duo in the game, period. There is no question about it. Now, Moody Ward has been playing absolutely amazing. He shut down DK Metcalf, que by the way, in the last, 6 games, scored 5 touchdowns. So every single game, he was scoring a touchdown. Comes Ward and DK Metcalf, he looks like an ordinary wide receiver. He loses his temper. I'm talking about Metcalf. He loses his temper. He committed a couple of penalties, even one taunting against Metcalf. I mean, he is good and good. And there is no doubt that thanks in great part for this defense, the 49ers won the West. There is no question about it. We have so many issues in the offensive side of the ball that if we didn't have this defense, absolutely we were not talking about the record that we have now. We were not talking about that being the number one in the West. We're not talking about the run for the Super Bowl. Many of the problems of the offense, they were solved with Brock Purdy. We saw how this kid is playing and go against Seattle in Seattle and get the victory. But not only to get the victory, it was a decisive victory. It was an outstanding victory. And I have no doubt that in the third and fourth quarters, we knew that Kyle Shanahan probably dialed down the calls of throwing the ball for Brock Purdy, at least in some degree. We knew that he had the problem with the ribs and the oblique. So why to risk it? Why to push to the limit Brock Purdy if we know that we are winning the ball? There is much talking about right now about Brock Purdy only throwing the ball to Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle, and in part to Deebo Samuel when he is in the field, right? And I don't see what is the problem. If you don't give the ball to your best players, how are you supposed to win? If you give the ball to George Kittle, to Christian McCaffrey, hoping that the next game Brandon Ayuk is going to get more involved, but those are your 3 best players in the offense. What is the problem to give them the ball as many times as possible? Now, we know that Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle, they are not the most durable players. But again, you are for the run, for the Super Bowl. This is the moment. This is the time that you need your best players making plays. This is the time where you are giving the ball to Christian McCaffrey, to George Kittle, to Brandon Ayuk, and when he comes back, Deebo Samuel. Those are your playmakers. Those are the guys that are going to take you all the way. Now everybody's talking about why they are giving the ball too much to Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. Well, it's not a rant, but again, then who else? To whom else you are going to give the ball? Obviously, you have Jawan Jennings and Ray McLeod. We saw even Tyler Croft got a decent pass from Purdy. So it's not only them. Probably the majority of the time you're going to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. And the closer, Jordan Mason. That guy is tough. That guy is big, is strong. I hope that in these next games, if we are getting worried about the usage of Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, why not to give more the ball to Jordan Mason? The guy is an amazing runner. Amazing runner. He comes and he closes, every single game for the 49ers. Since he started getting the ball. What else can you ask for an undrafted free agent? That he's amazing. Now, a lot of the praise for Jordan Mason was that he was very good catching the ball too. Where is that? Why we are not seeing more Jordan Mason catching the ball? That is something that, Kyle Shanahan, come on. You need to incorporate that in the playbook. Give more the ball to Jordan Mason and to Brandon Ayuk. He is one of your best playmakers. Now, going in another topic, the interview of George Kittle and Brock Purdy. Everybody's talking about how George Kittle went with the t-shirt, feels great, baby, number 10. Talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and telling that Brock Purdy was not asked to do anything special. Nonetheless, he's doing special things in the field. And I heard the comments before seeing the interview, but when I saw the interview, I was like, it was not that harsh. It was not, probably he was speaking on Purdy. He's a rookie. The veterans, most of the time they pick on the rookies. They try to push them and push around. So I don't think that it was nothing evil or trying to dismiss what Brock Purdy is doing in the field. Otherwise, I think that he acknowledged that this guy comes out with this attitude, and he start bowling for the 49ers. And nobody expected. Absolutely nobody expected. And most likely, they know, not only the players, but the 49ers organization, that Jimmy Garoppolo is not coming back. Look, your worst case scenario for next season is to have Brock Purdy as your quarterback. Is that your worst option? I will take it. Absolutely. Where do I sign? I will take that option. If you have your quarterbacks in Trey Lance and Brock Purdy for next year, guess what? I think that you are better than this year. Why? Brock Purdy will have NFL experience. Trey Lance, even if it was a couple of games, but he will have more experience. He will be in the system for one more year. There's nothing wrong with it. The worst case scenario now that to have Brock Purdy as your quarterback has become most likely the number one option. Now we need to see what Trey Lance says about all this. I'm guessing that he will come, put the work on getting better, compete for the starting job for next season, and that will bring the best of both players, talking about Purdy and Trey Lance. There is no doubt about it. I think that with the surgence of Brock Purdy, the 49ers are just in win-win situation. Yeah, Trey Lance, so many picks, third overall pick in the draft. Yeah. You go with the best player that you have, period. I don't care if Trey Lance was the number 3, they trade all the picks that they have, if Brock Purdy is better, we need to go with Purdy. There is no question about it. If Trey Lance is going to be your backup, I mean, what best backup can you have? Both of players, they are in the rookie contract. There is not a lot of money involved in having them. There is no better situation for the 49ers. Absolutely. We still need to see what Brock Purdy is going to bring in the last 3 games of the season and including the playoffs. We know Jimmy Garoppolo is not coming this season and most likely is not coming next season either. So we need to roll with Brock Purdy. The kid is sensational. I know most of the 49ers, I don't know if George Kittle, but most of the 49ers, they are with Brock Purdy. Hoping you like it. Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And like always, see you in the next one.